This is Jarrod Horak, and welcome to my latest Horse of the Day video for the 2023 Del Mar Bing Crosby season. I covered the Let It Ride Stakes for opening day, Friday, November 10th. For this video, for Saturday, November 11th, I'm going to do the Kathryn Crosby Stakes. And then for Sunday, November 12th this week, the final video for their opening week, I'm going to do the Betty Grable Stakes. Now stay tuned each day that Del Mar runs this 13-day fall meet from November 10th to December 3rd. I'm going to be doing a Horse of the Day video. We're going to keep track of the results as well, see if I can show a flat bet profit for my top choices for each of these videos. And if you're interested in my full card analysis at Del Mar, you can find those full cards on my personal website at therunawayhorse.com on my sales page, or you can also purchase my Del Mar full cards at todaysracingdigest.com. And speaking of the digest, if you head on over to todaysracingdigest.com, check out their news section and you will find Del Mar handicapping articles each day that they run this fall meet. I'm going to be posting some handicapping articles. So head on over to todaysracingdigest.com for those articles. And if you're interested in the complete digest for Del Mar at todaysracingdigest.com, you'll find that on their Del Mar products page. And they've been covering Southern California racing since 1970. And in that complete digest, you'll get past performances, analysis, speed figures, pace figures, performance ratings, and much more. So head on over to todaysracingdigest.com for more details. And now we'll get into the analysis of this video. 7th race at Del Mar, Saturday, November 11th, 2023. This is going to be the $75,000 Kathryn Crosby Stakes. This race is for fillies and mares, non-winners of a sweepstakes of $60,000 other than state bred at 1 mile or over since April 1st. And that $60,000 would be if they won $60,000 for finishing first in one of those stakes races. So this is a restricted race, but we do have some horses that have been running in some graded races. Now let's throw up the field right now and we'll look to see which horses are running in this race. Now, Linda's Gift for trainer Richard Mandella will break from the inside post at 5-1 morning line. Nadette is next for Neil Drysdale at 6-1. 15-1 for Very Scary with Kent DeSormo aboard. Turnerloose, 7-2, second choice on the morning line for Phil D'Amato, and Phil D'Amato also trains Dolce Zell. This one with Flavian Prod in the irons is the 5-2 morning line favorite. She has not run in almost a year. Ganadora for trainer Bob Baffert with Juan Hernandez aboard is 6-1, should be a pace factor. And two other horses should be pace factors in here. Free and Humble for Peter Miller with Mike Smith aboard at 12-1. Lucky for You, Bob Baffert, Kyle Frey, 12-1 morning line. And then Yerwanthere for trainer Patty Gallagher. Umberto Rispoli is going to ride, and that one is 6-1 on the line. Now we'll look at the final ratings in this race. The horse with the best final rating, we do have Nadette at a 131, and then Dolce Zell also has a 131. And then a couple horses at 128. We have Linda's Gift, Yerwanthere. Last time out, that was a good effort from that horse breaking from the outside post for Patty Gallagher. And then we'll look at the last fraction. These are the best closers in this race, and Nadette is the best closer for Neil Drysdale. She finished up her last start in 22 and change. So she's the best, fastest closer in this race. And then Yerwanthere with a 23.5 is the second best late runner in this race. Now, Del Mar typically will favor horses that are patient. So look for those horses in the late going. Maybe Nadette is a bigger threat underneath. We'll have to see how all that plays out. But now we'll just go through real quick and see if we can find any other decent handicapping angles to look for in this race. Now, Linda's Gift will probably save ground stalking the pace with Tiago Pereira aboard. I don't know that she has enough of a kick. In her last start, the pace was pretty quick at Santa Anita, optional claiming race, and she just tracked the pace, and she ended up finishing second there at almost 6-1 odds. So she's going to be facing some better horses here. She's 1 for 2 at Del Mar. She's run 4 times at this distance with a win, a second, and a third. Nadette, 3 for 14 overall. Now, she has not run at Del Mar, and she's 1 for 8 at this 1 mile distance, and she has not won since May of 2022. She dropped out of the graded stakes ranks, ran in the Golden Poppy Stakes at Golden Gate Fields last time out, and she rallied from last place to finish second, beaten ahead as the favorite. This is going to be a better field. Hector Barrios is going to be aboard. She's probably going to sit back and last and try to pass them all. Very Scary was in better form at Santa Anita Park over the winter, and then she kind of tailed off, and she hasn't really duplicated that good form, although she did run okay last time. Linda's Gift was second. She was about a couple lengths behind that one in fourth after stalking the pace. I just don't think she can quicken enough in the stretch to beat a field like this. Now, Turnerloose with Antonio Friso. Now, Antonio Friso, it looks like he had his choice to ride this horse or the horse on the outside, Yerwanthere, which he rode in both of her U.S. starts, including her win last time out. But he decides to stick with Turnerloose for trainer Phil D'Amato in here. This is the filly that I've always liked. She's had some ability even when she was with trainer Brad Cox. She was third in the Grade 3 Valley View at Keeneland last fall. She did win the Grade 2 Rachel Alexandra Stakes in 2022 on the main track, and she's fine on turf. 10 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and 2/3. She's run 3 times at Del Mar with 1 second place finish, and she's run 4 times at 1 mile with 2 wins and a second. The race that gives her a big look in here is the John C. Maybe. I picked her on top that day, and she stalked from second. She took the lead, and then she ended up finishing second behind Closing Remarks, a multiple graded stakes winner this year. So that was a decent filly. She finished second behind that day. And then in the Rodeo Drive at 1.25 miles last time, probably too far for her. She set the pace. She weakened to last. Cutting back to a distance that she has had success with. She's one that can bounce back. She's got to run back to that John Maybe, though. Dolce making her first start since December 2022. She used to be in the Chad Brown barn. Now Phil D'Amato has her. She has 8 starts, 3 wins, a second, and 2/3. She's run 3 times at this distance with a win and a second, and she's run once at Del Mar. That was in the Matriarch in her last start in December of 2022. She stalked. She weakened to finish 6th in an 8-horse field. She was a decent 3-year-old filly. She won the Grade 3 Lake George at Saratoga last year, and she won the Florida Oaks as well. So those were her 2 wins. We'll have to see if she doesn't need this start, her first start in a long time. But she has run well fresh off of a layoff before. And Flavian Prada board is probably going to hurt her price. Ganadora with Juan Hernandez for trainer Bob Baffert. This one's going to impact the pace. She ran a turf race a couple starts back in the Yellow Ribbon, and she did set the pace, and then she weakened to finish 3rd. She was the favorite in a little stakes race of the Dark Mirage at Los Al on the main track last time, but she flopped there. She finished 4th in that 7-horse field at 90 cents on the dollar. Free and Humble for trainer Peter Miller, stretching out from a 6.5 furlong turf race. And she's one that can handle the distance. 2 starts with a win in the second. She's 1 for 4 at Del Mar. In the John Maybe, she was up on the pace and she weakened to finish 6th. She's going to have to kick it in and run a better race here. Lucky for You for Bob Baffert with Kyle Frey certainly should impact the pace. She was all over the pace in her last 4 starts, setting the pace, and she won 2 of those races, including a 1-mile maiden win on the turf course in April. So that was a good effort. And then her last couple starts on the main track, she won a 1-mile race at Santa Anita in May, and then last time in an optional claiming race, she weakened after setting the pace there. So a pace factor in here. Yerwanthere making her quick turnaround here on October 28th at Santa Anita. Visually impressive win. Optional claiming 50, non-winners 1 other than. She just looped the field there. It was a 7-horse field. She was last. She came widest of all on the stretch and finished fast under Antonio Friso to win, geared down by a 1.25 lengths. So she's stepping way up in class here. Umberto Rispoli is going to get aboard, an excellent turf rider, and we'll have to see how she can handle this step up in class. So looking over again at the odds and the final ratings in the last fraction and trying to put all this together, I think the pace is going to be honest in here. I think you're going to see horses like Ganadora and Free and Humble and Lucky for You setting an honest pace. I think you're going to see Linda's Gift saving ground behind the speed. Very Scary will probably be stalking. Turnerloose should be mid-pack. And then you'll see Dolce, Nadette, and Yerwanthere coming from the back of the pack. So I think I'm going to try to beat the favorite. I know that she's a solid contender in here if she returns running. She had some good class as a 3-year-old filly, but Dolce is not going to offer a lot of value in this race. And I'm going to go with the second choice here, Turnerloose. This is the horse that I've liked, and I think that she's in a good spot. I like that Antonio Friso sticks with her. I like that she ran 1.25 miles last time, and she's getting back to 1 mile, and she set the pace in that race, but I do not expect her to set the pace here. multiple times in her career, she's been more than comfortable stalking the pace. So I'm expecting Turnerloose to be patiently handled, sitting in mid-pack and getting the jump on the later runners like Nadette, Dolce, Zell, and Yerwanthere. So I think she gets the jump on those 3 horses, and hopefully she'll have enough left in the late going to hold those runners off. Overall, she does own competitive speed ratings. Her Today's Racing Digest ratings from that John C. Maybe would be probably enough to win this race. So that's the race I'm hoping she can run back to as she cuts back in distance and drops into this restricted stakes race. So Turnerloose is going to be my top choice in the Kathryn Crosby Stakes. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. And I'll be back for my final video this week. I'm going to do the Betty Grable Stakes. So stay tuned to my YouTube channel for that. Then stay tuned also to my YouTube channel. I do the Road to the 2024 Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby video series. Each time they run points races, I will be covering those on my YouTube channel for the Oaks and the Derby video series. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.